It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Welcome back to HabsCast. We're up to number 127 already. That's crazy. I guess I'm averaging well over one a day lately, but hey, it's addictive. I love doing this, and I wouldn't love doing it if it wasn't for your great support. And thank you so much to everyone who comes on the live chat. If you're new to HabsCast, join in. If you're watching this on X, come on over to the live chat on YouTube and join in. I try to answer every single response if I can. I mean, there's the odd one that maybe gets skipped over for good reason, but anyone that makes a comment on here, I try to get to it and I try to respond especially if it's a question. So what I'm trying to achieve here is having the most interactive Habs podcast on the planet, and so far so good. It's going great. So today, I look at David Reinbacher's last game, and took a bunch of clips from it. It looks really good, and I'm going to also what's this here? Thank you to you and whoever invited me for the month so graciously. Okay, I guess I'm not sure, but people get free memberships that don't. I don't get it when you get a free membership. I guess maybe it's people that aren't on that end up. I don't know how that all works, but hey, thank you very much. I appreciate. You know, it would probably be you'd have to thank Germain Benoit. He gifted a bunch of memberships, and I'm not sure how it all works, but major thanks to him for gifting out so many. Donnie McCaskill too. A couple other people have. I can't think of all, but yeah, we have a really great support staff here amongst my members and regulars. Now, getting back to Reinbacher, I took clips from his last game against Utica. Had a look. He hasn't had points in the last few games, but that's not going to be. Canadiens got lots of they're the third highest scoring defense core in the NHL right now. That's not really what the need is for this team, I think, especially if and when they make the playoffs and what if they hope to have some success this year in the playoffs. Typically, you need some size back there. And if there is a knock on the Canadiens defense group this year, it would be that they could use a little more size. Who's the biggest potential defenseman that could join the club by playoff time? Well, it's David Reinbacher. And of course, he was a top 5 pick too, right? And typically, I haven't studied it, but I would imagine it's been many, many years that a top 5 defense pick hasn't at least had a look at the NHL level by Reinbacher's age. So, yes, I know. I know that. I know that Reinbacher was injured, and that's part of the reason why he hasn't got a look yet. But the main reason it's safe to say is because the Canadiens have pretty good. They got a pretty good defense core. Like if Reinbacher had been selected by San Jose or Chicago, for instance, I mean, Chicago's tried about 40 different defensemen in the past 3 years. He guaranteed he'd have played. He'd have played for either of those teams if he'd have been picked by them by now. So I like that the Canadiens are slow cooking Reinbacher. They're not rushing him. Obviously, a defenseman, as compared to a forward, typically needs a little more experience, a little more time, learning the especially a European defenseman, learning the North American game. So, um, does he get a look before the playoffs? Will he play in the playoffs if they make it? These are the burning questions. I think after looking at these two videos that you will have a little better idea. I have an opinion, and I'll share it with you after we watch the videos, and then I'll get to some questions and comments. Here's the game against Utica. I really like his. He's good at puck retrieval. He gets back. He doesn't get beat. He's got very good speed. An excellent skater for a 6'3", 6'3.5" kid. He really does move well. Look at the difference in size between those two, Farrell and him. You know, I wouldn't take what he's listed. There was a nice pinch there. Too seriously, I'm pretty sure he's probably 215, 220. Nice nice puck carry there. When he decides to carry the puck up, he's pretty. He doesn't get checked too often. Look at that, eh? Perfect textbook defending there to get the puck. Used his stick and body perfectly. Here, he failed to keep the puck in, so they got up. But look at how fast he got back. He was quite a piece behind that guy, and he caught up with his speed. There's a nice keep in. The opponent was right on top of him, and he got it in without losing the puck. A nice. He's got nice outlet passes. Here, I think he. Yeah, like just smooth. Protects the puck well. He doesn't. You're not getting the puck from him when he does that. Nice. You know, that guy. That just goes to show how strong he is there. He didn't even really get knocked down, even though he was kind of creamed from behind. So that'll be important too at the NHL level. Look at that pass, eh? I just want to back that up a bit and show that again. Look at Ving. That was really nice. Here again on the puck retrievals, he's pretty. The ice was bad in Laval at the end of periods. A couple times there where he had bobbles with the puck, but it was friggin' slush. The ice, you could tell. Here he comes back with it. Again, gets it, pops it right up the middle, right on the guy's stick, and then comes in, follows up, makes the smart play, get it deep. He didn't have any real good options. There was a nice. He's decent at moving the puck on the power play. He won't hurt you on the power play. He moves the puck well. And even there, you know, bobbled the puck a couple times because of the friggin' ice, and he still managed to avoid losing the puck. Look at that, eh? Got for a 6'3.5" kid, he's got very quick first three steps. And here, good luck beating him to the outside with that mobility and that long stick, his range. Very good. Here we go. Nice. I like his defense on this against this one guy. They battled it out here right in front of the net. He covered this guy really well and then knocks him down. He ends up getting a penalty on that, which was a joke, really. The other guy taps him. It's a good battle we had there, young man. Look at him bring it in here too. And then I like this. Like he's got good edges for a kid his size. Really nice mobility. It's he's not going to have any problems keeping up at the NHL level. And like even here, didn't take the penalty, got his stick up on the puck. I like how he switched hands there, right? And then got it around, reached around and hit the puck and then kind of hit the opponent and he fell down. So you might have called a penalty on that, but I think he had just gotten a penalty that was questionable, and they probably thought, well, we won't do this again. We're in Laval. They'll be throwing stuff at us on the ice. But it nothing fancy there, but that's not what the Canadians want from him at this point. They want a steady, big, mobile, puck moving blue liner that can clear the front of the net, that can get to pucks with his length, uh, have some physical presence, and we see it. I see it every time he plays. He's got an edge. There was a teammate of his, Schmaltz. Heard an interview a couple of weeks back on radio, and he was talking. He played with him, I guess, his rookie year, and he said, "No, the kid's got some bite. He plays with an edge, and that's only going to improve as he gains more and more confidence in North America, and gets more reps, and continues to get stronger. But you know, strength isn't an issue. I saw him 2 years ago at the development camp, and he's got huge legs, like tree trunks there. So it's certainly, and his upper body's like he doesn't need to gain muscle to play at the NHL level. He's ready to play from a physical standpoint. Um, what I also did here, I had a good look at his defense because that's going to be the big question, right? Like, can he play defensively? Can he do the job at this point? Um, yeah, his goals against. He's been on the ice for 22 goals against in Laval this year. And I did the calculations based on his ice time. Comes out that he's on the ice for 2.59 goals against a game, and Laval's goals against average is 2.70. So he's you know he's doing better than what Laval is as far as goals against go. When he's on the ice, they're less likely to have a goal against than when he's not on the ice. And but that also, you have to take into consideration that he's a regular penalty killer too. So if you only took his 5-on-5, it's quite a bit better. Like he's obviously been on the ice for a few goals against, while killing penalties, and also a couple empty netters as well, because he's usually out there when the club's looking for a goal late in the game. So um, what I did is what I like to do on defensemen especially when I'm scouting them for the draft, is look at their goals against when they're on the ice, the goals against. And what I did here was I put together a video of his goals against when he was on the ice, and the reasons why the pucks went in. Was he to blame for most or some or all of them? You know, W- did he make critical mistakes that led to goals against? Uh, it gives you a quick idea on how he's playing defensively. So here's the obviously this will focus on, if the negative, I guess you could say. But I think I looked at all of them, and I can honestly say I don't think there's one goal that you could say, oh, that's all Reinbacher's fault. So judge for yourself. You can tell me after you look at this. There's a couple that, I mean, geez, you can't go a whole season and not make mistakes, but you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's back this up here. Here's one where he got hurt. He got hit in the hand. I thought, oh no, he's out with that friggin' hand injury again. But he ended up being okay, thankfully. Here. Now this is Trudeau, losing the puck. So that's not on Reinbacher. The other one obviously wasn't. It friggin' the puck hit him in the hand. Here, let's just back that one up a bit here. Okay, that was the second goal, but this third one here, look where Bisson is. Now Reinbacher, should he have pinched there? Maybe not, but where's the friggin' forward? Backing up Bisson. So that was more on Farrell than it was on Reinbacher. He almost made the pinch there. If he'd have got to that puck, they'd have been fine. But and here again, I like his defense on this one, actually. And he damn close to hitting that away twice and just didn't. So I got no issue with that. He defended well. Here, he has nothing to do with it. He's got a guy covered up in front, shot from the point. Here he is again. He's got his guy covered in front of the net and shot from outside. I don't blame him on that one. This is an empty net goal, so, whatever. So he's on the ice for a goal against an empty netter. Again, that's pretty much, you can't blame him on that. I'm like, that was the goalie's fault. Here, he's in the right spot, but other guys standing around. He was trying to cover about 3 guys at once, so I'm not putting that on him. There probably was a little too aggressive, but again, the goal came from the other side, of the ice, and he almost caught this guy anyway on his side. So I don't know, like that wasn't very aggressive defending by the other defenseman there. Well, maybe you could say, well, he should have stopped the pass, but he tried. There again, he wasn't beat or anything like that. None of these goals, he had that one goal in preseason where he got beat with a deke. Not one of these are where he gets schooled. Like his one-on-one defending is really come a long way. And here even, right, he cut off the guy and he's right there. And again, where's the backup, right? Buddy sliding along. Should have been back covering for Reinbacher because he pinched. Again, he's there. Just not his fault on that goal against. That one there. Okay, he slid past and tried to anticipate and you could give him a little bit of fault in that because it ended up leaving the guy alone. But again, not an egregious one. Here he bobbled the puck a little bit at the blue line. I mean, every defenseman, friggin' Lane's had about 4 or 5 of those this year. So that happens on occasion. Don't always handle the puck perfectly. There again, can't blame him on that one. Here he stopped the guy going to the inside, and then I don't know, the goalie. That one might have been deflected, but so those are the goals that he's been on the ice against. And that always you can always see a few things that a player could have done better if you're showing all of their goals against. But I can show you defensemen, when it shows all of their goals against you, it's just like a highlight film of all their nice goals and stuff. You think, oh, what a superstar. And conversely, when you show just goals against, it can make a player, it can sometimes make a player and a defenseman in particular look really bad. That did not make Reinbacher look bad. You know, again, there wasn't one goal against where he got beat to the outside or a inside deke or he just, muffin pass to somebody. Not one so far this season. So that tells me the guy is ready. Like he can skate. He can skate in the NHL. I have no doubt about that. He's got the strength to play in the NHL. He's got the smarts and the poise, the outlet pass, the puck retrievals. The, the kid is ready. Now, the question is, are the Canadians ready for Reinbacher? They brought up Engstrom to give him a look. And Engstrom's had a good season, and that's fine. He deserved a call up, but the the whole on defense, fair to say, is on the right side, and no matter what lineup they use, they're using a left defenseman on the right side right now. So there is soon going to be a spot for Reinbacher in the lineup. Now, the question is when. When does he get that look? When Matheson got hurt with Goulet already out, that was an opportunity, and he wasn't called up. And they called up Engstrom instead, and Blais, and they didn't. That told me that it's possible that the Canadians don't want to bring him up this year, even for a couple of games. That they want him to just take their time with him and let him keep improving and get used to the North American game playing for Laval. But I really think there's an opportunity in the East this year. The Canadians are one point behind Carolina for the Eastern Conference points lead. Tampa's been playing a little better lately, but Montreal is one of the hottest teams in the league. The past they've lost 2 games in regulation out of their last 14 or 15. So they're playing really. Excuse me a sec. They're playing fantastic hockey right now, and this is without key guys with key guys out of the lineup. Like, I really think Goulet back in is going to make a big difference, and the question will be. It all comes down to Alex Carrier, really, right? To his credit, I have liked Carrier's game in the last 3 or 4. He's looking good with Hudson. The two, Hudson's been lights out since he was back on the left side, right? I think if you haven't seen the stats, it's 6th in the league in scoring since he switched back to the left. Plus 20 plus minus, which is the best in the league since he switched back to the left side. And a lot of that's playing with Carrier. And yes, ideally, you don't want 2 guys under 5'11 and a half, like, playing together. But both these guys compete their asses off. And even though they're not big, they're undersized, they manage pretty well against anybody, really. So Carrier, for me, his last game in particular might have been his best game, I think, since last year, when he was really good. He's had some struggles this year on and off, but to his credit, since playing with Hudson and recent games, I've liked Carrier's game quite a bit, and if they don't call up Reinbacher before the end of the year, it's because Carrier continues to play like he has been recently. Now, mind you, I still question whether the Canadiens have enough size on that blue line to go like go more than a round in the NHL playoffs this year. Um, Despite how competitive Hudson and Carrier are, I just really think ideally, if you want to make some noise this year and go a fair distance, David Reinbacher is going to have to be in there at some point this playoff. Now, do you just bring him up? He'll be on the roster for the playoffs. Like, he's not going to stay in Laval all year. When they have expanded roster, David Reinbacher will be up. I'm positive of that. But I really hope that he gets some time. He gets a look before the playoffs, and they have a better idea. I mean, again, I ended up not having time, but I'm fairly certain that it's really rare that a blue liner taken in the top 5 or even top 7 doesn't get a look by the age of 21 in the NHL. And I really think that Reinbacher, it's not because he isn't good enough to get called up and look. He's looked better than some defensemen drafted in the top 7 over the past 20 years. So it's certainly not because he's struggling. I think I see very few mistakes in his game. When last year at times you'd see it, and his first couple of years with Laval, once in a while, some errors with the passing and maybe get beat puck watching now and then. I don't see that anymore. Like, there's not one goal against there where he got cleanly beat. Not one. And that's all year in Laval so far. So that's very encouraging. Now, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if there's another injury, particularly to someone on the right, then he'll get up. And usually on defense there are injuries, but for me, the ideal lineup in the playoffs, and I mean they'll play it by ear too, right? Like, if they're getting physically manhandled in the first round and they're down like 3-1 or even maybe 2-0 or 2-1, and it's been kind of like what we saw last year in the playoffs, a Washington team that kind of ran over them. You could see Reinbacher then getting in the lineup if he's not to start the playoffs. Now, ideally, you're not doing that with him not having played any regular season games in the NHL. So I would like him somehow, some way to get a look in the second half here at the NHL level, get a few games, see how he looks. I mean, they're doing that with Fowler, right? It would not surprise me if Fowler is the starting goalie for the Canadiens in the playoffs. He's the same age as Reinbacher. I mean, and that's an even more important position, really, when it comes to age and experience when you're between the pipes. So if and I mean, Demidov played in the playoffs last year at 19 years of age, so why not Reinbacher? Well, again, Fowler's not going to start in the playoffs without NHL experience. He's getting that now. Demidov did get a couple of games in at the NHL level before the playoffs started. And I mean, it was apparent, especially in that game against Chicago, that Demidov, was ready to play at the NHL level. So it wasn't just thrown to the wolves without playing a single NHL game before the playoffs. So anyway, I don't know what the thought process is with the Canadians. Maybe I'm off off base here, and they just, the plan is no, Reinbacher doesn't doesn't play any games. He doesn't even get called up for the playoffs. They just let him play in Laval the whole season. I'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure that he's one of the guys called up. You have black aces, right, at playoff time, and I would I would think, especially if you run into some injuries, or like Dobson got hurt, or Carrier, they're going to need Reinbacher. So um, I expect him to be in the playoff roster. And that being said, I hope that they go multiple rounds this year. And if they do, I'd be shocked if Reinbacher's not in the lineup at some point, because I really think they could use that size. You can cite teams that go long way in the playoffs through, you know, the last how many years, and typically they've got some size back there. The one time Montreal's made the final since '93, right? The pandemic year there. Well, they had Edmondson, they had Weber, they had Sherratt, they had they had lots of size, and it wore down teams. And I mean, they weren't going to beat Vegas without that size on the blue line, especially with Vegas's heavy forward group. And so, you know, Kent Hughes went on the record saying the other day that they're ahead of schedule. Well, that tells me that they're going for it. Well, if they're going for it, I think that Reinbacher will need to be in the lineup at some point. Give me your thoughts on that. Danielle donated $1.99. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Oh, just got another one in. Mark's on board. Glad to see you here, Mark. Long time no see. $5. Teal. I like teal. Thank you very much. It's my favorite color, actually. Let's get to some comments here. Thank you to you and whoever invited me for the month so graciously. Okay. Well, thanks for checking in. Gooley and Reinbacher incoming. Ooh, I hope so. When someone gives membership, it's first come, first serve. First viewers to click the button, get the membership. I see. I would love to see Reinbacher too, but the right move might be to trade out Struble and bring in a Luke Shen. Solid veteran, can platoon Shen, Arbor, Carrier, depending on matchups, rest. Yeah, they might go that kind of route too. We'll see. Luke Shen's no David Reinbacher. I'll just put it that way. Can't skate anywheres like him. And the Canadians, I think, are really well. Paul Murray said it. That freaking defense, man, moving the puck up, like that's the Canadians' game. Fast, speed, pace. Do they want to, slow it down with a Shen? I don't know. Like even Arbor's catching on that. Okay, I need to be fast. I need, to move the puck quicker. I need to move faster, make quicker decisions. And even he's getting with the program. And now he looks good, doesn't he? Germ MSP says, not sure what he says there. Is he saying that he's buffering? I don't know. Welcome aboard, Germ. You start with Reinbacher here. Maybe Carl Cotton. I think he should stay in Laval. Thanks, Carl. Want a big defenseman? Bring Logan Stanley. No, thank you. No, I do not want Logan Stanley. You haven't watched Logan Stanley close enough, believe me. No. No. Hey, Grant, anything new on Coleman? Hey, I'm not a go to talk to Darren Drager. I'm not an NHL insider. um, he's big, but not sure about his defensive play. No, I'm just. You're talking to the wrong guy when it comes to Logan freaking Stanley. Can't stand the guy. Maybe there's a bit of bias there, but I've seen more mistakes, more puck crap with him. Oh my God, no, I have no interest in Logan Stanley. Gudis or Chen. Yeah. Yeah, they might do something like that. I don't know. Saw an interview with Bisson today with the reporter getting his feedback on Reinbacher. Okay. Bisson was saying he's still trying to balance when to attack, sometimes stressed about not having more points, but they're trying to make him understand he won't be on the power play short term in Montreal. Yeah, well, hey, that's okay that he wants more points. He's just trying to help. Good for him. Confidence. He's confident. I like him. I see Reinbacher with Hudson for years to come, like a Keith Seabrook. Yeah, that's who he'll be with. Can you name any current players as comparable to Rhino? Oh God, I always have to get that. Hey, no, not offhand. Who will be the goalie tomorrow? Yeah. Get out my crystal ball here. I don't know. Dobie needs to get in the net. But do they come back with Fowler? It should be Dobish, but probably be Fowler. I think I prefer the first pairing of Einstein and Reinbacher, given the third in Montreal, a Jack-Eye Struble. Yeah, well, I don't know. I prefer Jack-Eye Reinbacher as the third pairing, playoff time. That they'd be a nice. I think they'd work well together. Size, physicality, shutdown, kind of. Reinbacher 60, 70 points. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think they've got Hudson and others to take care of the offense. He can, and he'll get points, but his mainstay is going to be just impossible to freaking beat one-on-one. Defender, crease clear, all that. Steady, all-around defenseman. Yeah, never get 60, 70 points. Well, I don't. I try not to get too definitive on these things. Just like Liam saying yesterday, there's no hope in hell that they beat. I mean, with all respect to that, I never say never, because it could just come back and bite you in the ass. The shot of Reinbacher is NHL caliber. Oh yeah, he's got a good shot, and he moves the puck well too. He'll get some points. It's just there's other guys that Dobson and Hudson are 50 and 80, 100 point defensemen. So the club goes with one defenseman on the power play. So he's not going to, not for the foreseeable future anyways, ever hit 60, 70 points, but he'll get his share of offense. And that, there's so much, like, they're called defensemen. They're not called offensemen. And there's just so much emphasis put on how many points a defenseman gets. And it seems like, oh, you can only be thought of as one of the best defensemen in the league if you score a whole bunch of points, right? Like Miro Heiskanen. I think he's the best defenseman in the NHL, but he's never right at the very top of the points. So it's Quinn Hughes is thought to be better. Not I would take. I'm friggin' I'm playing a playoff game, and I have a choice between Quinn Hughes and Miro Heiskanen on my blue line. I'm not there. It's not even a hesitation that I take Heiskanen. He's the one that's out on the ice for me. But oh, he doesn't get 80 points, right? Well, I don't give a shit how many points the defenseman gets, to be honest with you, because 90% of the time they're defending. The other 10%, okay, they get in on points, fine. You know, Lane Hudson, fine. Good. He's the offensive defenseman on the team. They don't need 70-point, 60-point defensemen. They need 6 defensemen that can keep the puck out of their own net, because that's what a defenseman's job is, first and foremost. You have the puck for maybe 5% of a game. You know, puck possession, 5% of the game. The other 95% is pretty damn important. So I'm not going to, spend this whole time talking about how many points I think David Reinbacher can get, because I don't give a rat's ass how many points he gets. That's not going to be what makes him a great defenseman, in my mind. Glad he's finally getting his reps in. Very good. Analyze Greg. Where'd Greg go? Greg, you just got a compliment there. Going on and on about the points. I'll just skip over these if you don't mind. Gulli Reinbacher, Hudson Reinbacher at some point. Yeah. Well, Hudson Reinbacher. That's when he was drafted, that was the plan. Very first development camp, boom. They were put together. 5th overall puck. He should be dominating. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, Iron Mike. Sure. He is dominating. Yeah, obviously, you didn't watch the movie, did you? Let me guess. You looked at the point totals, and he doesn't have a point per game. So, yeah, well, you got it figured out there, Iron Mike. Matheson as well, Francois. Okay, we got an infiltrator. You were so right, Grant. They need size and skills. Perfection match with Lane Hudson. They need a couple. Iron Mike, if you think Adam Engstrom's is as good a defenseman as David Reinbacher, you don't know hockey. No offense, but you're just simply wrong. Late to the party. Hey, Mark. Different kind of D. Reinbacher will play well. And you know what? Adam Engstrom has no more offense at the NHL level. He'll have no more offense than Reinbacher either. That seems to be what's the most important to people. How many points the defenseman gets? Well, guess what? Adam Engstrom will not have more points in the NHL than David Reinbacher. If that's what's only important to you, you can take that to the bank. I say don't say things definitively. I'll definitively say that David Reinbacher will end up with more career points than Adam Engstrom. Because of the Olympic breaks and injured players coming back, I wonder if guys like Laine, Evans could be sent to Laval for conditioning. Yeah. Bye-bye, Iron Mike. Dovish needs to be sent down to Laval. Yeah. Go cry somewhere else. You think I'm crying? You can cry somewhere else. I would not touch Stanley. No. Neither would I. Neither would I. What weakness of the Habs do you think Rhino would help with the most? What weakness of the Habs? Size, physicality, clearing the front of the net, range, length. You need a defenseman that can get to those pucks with his length and reach. You know, Lane and Carrier can't get to a lot of pucks because they don't have the reach. So I'm a Jack-Eye fan all the way, not so much Struble. However, he would be a great adding piece to someone. Yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, oh, yeah, they're not getting rid of Jack-Eye. They need him. They need him. I've warmed up. I've warmed up to him for sure. Since he was drafted before Michkov, which doesn't, I don't give a shit that he was drafted before Michkov, but do you think the broader fan base will be? Honestly, I don't care, Danielle. If all you got to worry about is other players that are drafted, I don't have time for that. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Just like the people that want to talk about Cutter Gauthier now. You know, wait 5 years. I could care less the first 5 years of what other prospects do that are drafted in and around a guy. Like for someone that's scouted for a living, it's just it means nothing to me whatsoever. You know, it doesn't, because you don't judge a draft class for 5 years. You don't even start to think about judging a draft class for 5 years, especially a friggin' Michkov was a star at 16 playing against men. Of course he was going to start his career faster. A 5'9" guy that's doesn't have to grow into his body, you know. He's not growing anymore. In fact, he's got to grow less. He's got to lose some weight. You know, of course he was going to score before and put up points before a 6'3" international defenseman ever sees the ice in the NHL. So anyone that compares Michkov to Reinbacher doesn't, it just, they're, it's silly. It's a silly comparison in the first 3 years after they're drafted. It doesn't matter one bit. It'd be like, I don't know, the year Thomas Harley was drafted, to say 3 years later, oh, this guy here, this 5'10" forward has 50 goals in the NHL and Harley's in the AHL. We should have drafted him. Well, that looks really stupid today, doesn't it? That 5'10" winger is still a third liner, and Thomas Harley's going to the friggin' Olympics. Anyway, how's everybody tonight? I'm feeling great. The Habs are rolling. Big game tomorrow night. Every game's a big game. I think Fowler probably goes in. He's probably the goalie. You tell Grant. Yeah, well, Beating the lowly Flames and depleted Panthers felt good, but looking forward to the tilt tomorrow against the Red Wings. It'll be a good test. The depleted Panthers. Yeah. Well, what? The Habs weren't depleted? Oh, the poor depleted Panthers. Were they missing a defenseman any better than Gooley? Kirby Doc, Jake Evans, Josh Anderson, Alex Newhook. Yeah, they're not Barkov, but, depleted team against depleted team, spanked them 6-2. How many times the Canadiens had in the last 3 years had rosters with hardly anybody in them, and they freaking, they didn't get spanked 6-2. I've watched him in person. Laval, he looks like he's playing in a rocking chair. David is a stud. Yep, he is. But he's not dominating offensively. I looked at his stats. He just doesn't have a point per game. If you're a defenseman picked in the top 5, you got to have a point per game in the AHL at this age. Grant, I've been reading some pretty juicy rumors these days. Can you recall some good ones from your days as a scout? Oh, you're trying to get me rolling here. 50 minutes in, eh? No, can't recall any. Laval 3-1, half game. Yeah. I was supposed to be looking at that. But if Reinbacher doesn't have 2 points, he's a bust. Just letting you know. "3-1. Yep, you weren't lying. Just a sec here. I'll get the Trudeau, Farrell, Davidson. Philip Machar scored a goal. Oh my goodness. And Farrell, Davidson, Engstrom. Hey, getting some assists from Mr. Davidson. Good. But what the only important thing here is that Reinbacher doesn't have any points. And if he doesn't have any points, he can't be playing well. He must be a bust. What a disappointment he is. Do the Habs need to trade someone as good as they are? Yeah, if they want to get better, they want to compete in the playoffs. I think they need an even Kent Hughes said as much that they need. They probably need to add some physicality. What aspects of a player would you say continue to develop past the age of 23? Oh, everything can still develop past the age of 23. Look at Darren Radish. Darren Radish was 27 before he cracked the NHL. Now he's a point per game defenseman. Right? Like if you look at his there's an example. Anyone that's saying, "Oh, well, David Reinbacher at age, he's only averaging a half point, half point a game. That means he can't have any offense." Well, he's freaking 21-year-old with 50 games AHL experience so far. You think that, you go only by his friggin' offensive stats at this time when trying to judge if he has any NHL offensive upside? Well, let me just bring this up for everyone here. just as a bit of a learning lesson for those who like to try to judge offensive upsides based on stats at 21 years of age in the AHL. Look at Radish here. 22 points at 22 points and 26 points at the AHL level. So below a half point a game his first 2 years, right? In the AHL. 4 points in 22 games. So he had 30 points in 76 games the second year, right? Already older than Reinbacher. Okay. 28 points in 62 in his third year. Okay. Even right up till 21, 22, 25 points in 61 games. Okay. Well, look at him this season. NHL, 36 games, 36 points at 29 years of age. So, like, be patient. Don't judge players. Don't say, oh, well, this guy, look at his stats. Look where he was drafted. Actually scout the player. Look at the player. Look what they're doing. Like, if you looked at that video of David Reinbacher, you see that he's a hell of a defenseman already. At his age, his skating ability, his shutdown ability, his ability to cut off lanes, his poise, his smarts, his outlet passing. Whew. This kid is going to be really good defenseman, like really good. And the Canadiens are taking their time with him. They didn't call him up yet because they're letting him slow cook, not because he doesn't deserve it. There are 10 teams in the NHL right now that would gladly have him on their blue line. 10 teams, minimum. But the Canadiens, hey, let's they have the luxury right now to not have to. And hey, it's only going to serve him well in the future. When he does finally play for the Canadiens, he's going to step in and he's going to be more than NHL ready. And Habs fans are going to love him on the blue line because he's exactly what they need. It's starting to get crowded in the Habs lineup. They eventually will have to trade someone. Yes, they will. Think Bolduc could be sent down if they happen to get everyone healthy? Yeah, it's possible. But I don't think so. When do you think Reinbacher will get his NHL debut? Did you? I guess you missed the start of the... Do you not think that I talked about that in the first 25 minutes there, Sam Sav? I like when people come in and they ask exactly what you friggin', the title is, he's ready. Reinbacher's ready. Do the Habs think he is? Sam Sav, to repeat what I said, sometime in the next, probably before the end of the season, to give him a look. But who knows? Grant, many are crying because their pick was not taken by the Habs. Oh, well, there's always the draft experts, and then they run down the guy that was picked instead of when they looked at their stat sheet, right? Because that's clearly what's his face was doing. It's stats. It's all about stats. Never mind how the player plays or what position he plays or what role he'll bring to the team. It's all about stats. When you're 19, 20 years of age, Stanley is having a breakout season. Oh, he's +1. Okay. Yeah. Don't get upset, Grant. Oh, I'm not upset. I'm not a Stanley fan, Carlo. Nothing personal, buddy. I seen Stanley for 8 years, and He's having a okay season. You can call it a breakout season. I mean, he's getting points, and that's all that counts, right? But no, I don't want Logan Stanley for a lot of reasons. Attitude, don't like him. He still makes bonehead mistakes when you don't want it. And I mean, using plus minus as you know, if he was plus 15 or 20, where it was a standout stat, then okay. But plus one, I don't know, like plus one is proof that somebody's playing really well defensively. It's not. I need a little more than that. I've just seen Logan Stanley just be a bonehead for 10 years now, going back to his junior career. Nothing personal. I don't want personally. I don't want him, but I'm not. I'm not going to. I obviously don't. I'm not going to argue that he hasn't improved. Logan Stanley has improved. I'll give him that, but he had nowhere to go but up. Because, to be honest with you, I'm shocked that Winnipeg, well, first of all, moved up to pick him in the draft and had never, remained patient with him for 10 years because, wow, a lot of bad hockey. You ask Winnipeg Jets fans what they think of Logan Stanley. You aren't going to have too many saying, "Ooh, yeah." Well, actually, they would say, "Yeah, trade for him, please." The rumors around Coleman seem to indicate the Habs are mindful about improving their PK, physically, secondary scoring, and experience, but they likely won't overpay for him either. That makes sense, Francois. Reinbacher's a real deal, and it's not just about points. He's going to be a fantastic all-around player. He skates like silk and has great size. Reminds me and looks like a Savard. Yeah, it looks just like David Savard, eh? Oh, okay. You mean Denny Savard. Sorry. All right. No, Mark Savard. I'm just kidding about the first two. You're on fire, Grant. Oh, I sometimes don't have patience. I think, have you noticed that? um, Thoughts on trading Cappy for a real 2C? Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Oh, you had to mention. Thanks for adding that you're messing with me. I thought you were serious, Mark. Florida just beat Colorado. Florida just beat Colorado. Yeah. Okay. What were they playing, an afternoon game or something? What's the score here now? Still 3-1. Go Rocket, go. I just want to quickly have a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. NHL. LA Kings. Winnipeg Jets are beating them 1-0. Says here Logan Stanley has been the star by far. They can't contain him. Superstar. Washington Capitals won. Chicago nothing. Not a real big sample size there. I know Tampa just beat Colorado. Brent. I was curious about how Detroit was doing well. No active injury, less injured team all season. Yeah, that's a good point. Montreal's 5th most hurt in the NHL. It certainly doesn't hurt when you don't get hurt, if that makes sense. Glenn, I know you were talking about Serge Savard, just pulling your leg. No, you mean you weren't talking about Mark Savard, a 5'10" forward? Panthers don't have our depth. Panthers are not a threat right now. Might have Stanley Cup hangover. Detroit is tied with Montreal. Better test, in my opinion. We'll see. I see great things on the horizon. I see great things on the horizon for the Habs. Yes, so do I. You know who? You know what? Who thinks David Reinbacher was a really good pick at 5th overall? This guy right here, Yvan Cornway. Why? Because he knows hockey, and he also knows wide plank flooring. Ladies and gentlemen, go visit logsend.com. Have a look at their website. They have they take reclaimed wide plank flooring. They take logs from the Ottawa Valley, from the Ottawa River, and they they recover 200-year-old logs, hand retrieved by divers at the bottom of the Ottawa River, protecting riverbed ecosystems and local waterways while offering a unique connection to Canada's 19th century logging heyday. While they're famous for their riverwood, the proudly Canadian company also offers Canadian white oak, hard maple, hickory, birch, and walnut for everything from high traffic commercial floors to basements with radiant heat. Logs End has provided custom flooring for NHL greats like Yvan, Gary Galley, Chris Phillips, Chris Neal, and a bunch of others, including Mike Blunden, who used to play for the Habs too. I talked to Chris Neal about it. He said, absolutely love it. It's the nicest hardwood flooring he's ever had. So do me a favor, and if you're interested in maybe getting a quote from him, tell him Grant sent you, and they'll fix you up. They're all hockey. They're major hockey guys and great guys. So logsend.com. And you know what? They think Reinbacher going to be a hell of a defenseman too. And they're Ottawa Senators fans. Blues wish they had Reinbacher instead of Mayu. Probably. Of course they do. They weren't getting him. I wouldn't have liked that trade. Bolduc for Reinbacher. Ooh, boy. Yet there were people that would have probably thought that was great. And after the first week, when Bolduc had 3 goals, it'd say, steal! What a steal! What's Reinbacher doing? He's injured again. Yep. What do you think of PK Subban during his draft year and his cup of coffee in the AHL? What did I think of him? I thought he was a riverboat gambler, a roving defenseman. Had a pile of work to do, learning, pick his spots and not just be go go go. But you could see the physical, great skater, booming shot, physical. The physical elements of his game were impressive, but you worried about his, his approach. There was work to do for sure. And his credit, he didn't need that much AHL time. And I mean, the Canadiens had a need, right? They didn't really have that type of player in the lineup. And he came up and boom. I think he'll perform much better at the NHL level. It's a good league, but nowhere near the same structure as the NHL. Well, I think he's playing very well at the AHL level too, Mark. But yeah, I see your point, and I think he's going to transition to the NHL just very smoothly, and he'll be an impact defender uh, pretty much right away once he gets called up. If not for his injuries, he'd probably be with the big club. I agree. Is it true it takes 4 years to develop a defenseman and 5 for a goalie, except the exceptional players? There's no time frame whatsoever. Fowler can take 4 years. It varies, you know. Obviously, special players like Hudson, McCarr takes less time, but even they needed a couple of years, right? Typically, a defenseman can be anywhere from 4 to 7 years. Darren Radish, 27 before he made his NHL breakthrough. Like, you look at, you know, he played 5 years junior hockey, so he was like 20, 21 when he came out. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 years in the AHL, right? So really 22, 23 was his first season, 27 years of age. And he barely played. He had 3 points in 17 games. Then 23, 24, yeah, really was his at 27. Now he's 29. But look at just the progression year by year, right? And now he's top 20 defenseman in the league, arguably. I was looking at Bolduc's stats in the AHL. I was surprised to see he was not a point per game in there, around a half a point. Hey, look, listen, there aren't a lot of 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds that go into the AHL and put up great stats. The AHL is not a high-scoring league, first and foremost. And, you know, depends on your team, depends on a lot of things. Depends on how ready you are to develop, but I'm not that surprised that Bolduc didn't have big stats, because I think what we're seeing here is he may have been a 60 assist defenseman in the queue, but he's never going to be put in many assists, I don't think, at the NHL level. I don't see that as being a strength of his game. Vision is a concern for me when it comes to him. Just want to see if they started up the third period here. No, just after 2. He's going to be great for us. He should be an upgrade on Carrier by next year. I think so. We need a big modern day right shot defensive defenseman far more than Michkov at this point. Absolutely. Where's Michkov's? I mean, your top line's not going to be a 5'9" winger on one side and a 5'7" winger on the other side. It's just not. And he's not replacing Slav and Demidov. So where would Michkov be in Montreal's lineup right now? Maybe third line winger with holes in his defense, with that attitude, with him still needing an interpreter. Like, no, thank you. I still nail Yakupov. I still get those vibes from him. Probably have a better NHL career, but I don't know. Get back to me in 3 years and we'll see where he's at. Certainly not making progress so far. Yakupov kind of went that way too. First year was his best year, and just kind of, we'll see. The important thing is, at the moment, Habs draft someone, you support that player no matter where he would. Don't shit on him like they did with Reinbacher or Slaffer. Yeah, I know, and as you can tell, I get a little impatient with it. I just find people like I don't want my live chat, and it's mine. So I guess I have some say in the matter. I don't want it to turn into a negativity, a shit show. I just don't, and I'm trying to be careful with it. Maybe I'm being a little too aggressive when it comes to that, but I don't want it. That's what message boards are for. That's what Twitter's for. Go be toxic there. I don't want toxicity on here, and I'm going to try my best to keep it out. I'm going to be protective of this because we've got a really good. I don't want it to turn into a um, heated arguments between people and stuff like that. It's just, I really, life's too short to spend the time um, having to deal with toxicity all the time. I get enough of that on Twitter as it is. I feel like the Demidov selection made the Reinbacher selection age better. Yeah, I really, not taking Michkov to me. They weren't taking Michkov. There wasn't a hope in hell. They could have been picked in 30th, and I know, I know what the Canadiens weren't touching Michkov. They weren't going near him, and neither were a lot of other teams. Philly took the chance on him, but if they don't take him where they did, it's damn good chance he doesn't go top 10. And Ryan Leonard, like if you're gonna do revisionist history, Leonard was the guy that I wanted, or Dvorsky, one of the two. But who I had the Canadiens taken in the mock draft was Leonard, but they didn't. So I don't care what Leonard does. I don't care what Michkov does. I honestly don't. I care what David Reinbacher does. You can't go, personally, I think it's the best approach of life. Don't worry about the other guys. Worry about yourself. Worry about who you picked. Support that player. If he doesn't work out great, well, that's too bad. Like everything happens for a reason. If Montreal would have taken Brady Tkachuk, they never get Ivan Demidov and Reinbacher and Slav because they'd have been too good a team. So, could have spent 5 years fretting over it, or just roll with the punches, support KK while he's there, and I did. To my anyone that knows me knows that I freaking backed him and vouched for him and hoped the best for him, and I still do. But can't worry about the guy you didn't take. You take him. So support the guys. And this isn't just I'm not aiming this at you. I'm aiming this just at the millions of Habs fans that do want to worry so much, worry about the grass being greener on the other side. Well, that's not the best way to approach life. Just from, somebody with 60 years under his belt, trust me on that. It's, why worry about that? Don't worry about it. Especially the first 3 or 4 years, because they're irrelevant. It's like everyone that just, why didn't we take David Perron? Look at Max Pacioretty. He's in the AHL. David Perron's in St. Louis. What well, that looks stupid a couple of years later when Max Pacioretty scored 39 goals. He's the captain of the Habs and all that. And then, you look back and say, geez, why did I spend those 4 years worrying about that? Maybe I could have, maybe instead I could have supported Max Pacioretty and hoped for the best and been patient with him. But I know we're passionate Habs fans. We want everyone to be a freaking superstar. We want all the other guys that aren't picked by the Canadians to flop on their face, but it's just not the way things go. There's my pearls of wisdom for the night. And hey, we got 100 people on board here. Welcome. Is he a worthy of a 5 top? Yes, he is. Okay. Hey, Giroux. Yeah, he was a great top 5 selection. Absolutely. Don't be judging him now. Go look at Thomas Harley's stats and when he broke into the NHL, compare it to Reinbacher. And then realize that, hey, maybe these guys need a little time, right? Not every, especially a 6'3" defenseman, it's rare. Larry Robinson, at the same age as Reinbacher, was playing in the AHL. How did he turn out? Similar sized defenseman? Big defensemen, especially ones from overseas, especially ones that were injured, had battled a couple of injuries the last couple of years. Take a little time. We have Alexander Zhuravsky. Oh my God. Wow. We've got Alex Hage. Michael Hage, who could be a winger too. You know what? I look at the depth chart of the Habs and Michkov, and in my opinion, in 2 years' time, he wouldn't be in the top 9. Don't tell Flyers fans that I said that, okay? Serge Savard, yes, sir. I knew who you meant. And you know what, Glenn? I mentioned it 3 years ago that he reminded me a bit of Serge Savard. So great minds think alike. Okay, where are we? Okay, I got to get caught back up here. Hey, George C. Now there's the optimism I'm looking for. Once we get Gooley, Newhook, Evans, and possibly Doc back, get Reinbacher called up, then we're ready to contest against Colorado Nordiques for the ultimate prize. That's the right. That's the way to look at it. Habs are a contender. Win around this year, go deep next year with the kids leading the way. Yeah, it might be a year away, but I hope they win around at least this year. I think it's important for them to win the division, and hopefully they don't face Tampa, who, according to Liam, they don't have a hope in hell of beating. And he might be right. That'd be tough. That'd be the team that I least want to probably meet. But and Florida too. I mean, with the big guys back, they'll be strong. They'll be tough again. But maybe Toronto finish first. Imagine, Toronto in the first round with home ice advantage. How crazy! I mean, the last time we met them, it was pandemic, so it was great, but it just wasn't quite the same. Just how nuts would that be facing the Leafs first round, home ice advantage? Ooh. We have plenty of games to go before we know for sure who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. Yep. Gretzky's hockey brain has no close second, but how was his individual skill relative to his peers? Well, all I know is I never once saw him get caught on a breakaway. He wasn't the greatest skater, but he skated well enough. He had really good edges. Puck skills were fantastic. His shot wasn't the hardest, but friggin' 900 of them got by NHL goalies. He he could label them. Oh, his skills were just fine. You don't score 3,000 points in the NHL and not be highly skilled. It wasn't just about his brain, trust me. All those, you know, the 100 hours a week that he spent on dad's outdoor rink uh, paid off, put it that way. You can only pick between, yeah, well, I don't have to, and you never will. And I'm not going to answer that question if you don't mind. I hate those hypotheticals. That's like, you can only keep one, Led Zeppelin or The Who. Well, no. I'm not throwing out records from one of my favorite bands because I can only keep one. I can keep two. I should have a beer. Take this edge off here. When Slav comes back from the Olympics, this guy's going to wrap it up another big notch. I think so, Glenn. The ceiling for him is limitless to what he wants. He's maturing as a man, gets it, and he wants more. Yes. Francois throws me a toonie. Thank you, sir. By the way, the more money that people donate to me, the less grouchy that I get. So, don't feel free to see, match his toonie if you want happy, you want Grant to be cappy. Francois, go HabsCast. Yes. 107 here, 568 on X. Come on over, folks. We don't bite. Just don't be toxic like what's his face was. And it's all good. Give us your thoughts. I'll tell you you're crazy, or I'll say, you know what, that's brilliant. But I'll say what's on my mind. You'll get that. Reinbacher just did a crazy zone entry on the power play. Kids just flew it on the ice. Big kid with poise and skating above the average. Oh, he's way above the average. I'm going to have a look at this game later. That's the beauty for me. And anyone that's tuning in here that could be watching, I appreciate it. Or maybe you're keeping an eye on that and watching this. That's cool too. I'll have a look at this game later. But yeah, his skating for his size, no one's tanking in the in the AHL. Michkov, no. We dodged a bullet with Michkov. Happy's not on our team. Oh, I could tell you stories, boy. Ho, 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 ho. He was not a very good teammate in Russia, just put it that way. Canadians did their homework on that, and you can connect the dots on that as to why. Do you think having a superstar teammate and mentor increase the potential of a player like Gensel and Crosby? I don't know. Made Rob Brown a better player when he played with Mario Lemieux, but doesn't hurt having a superstar teammate. And look what's happening in Montreal. They've got superstar superstar Lane Hudson. All right. Soon to be superstar Ivan Demidov and Slav. I can live with Bolduc not having great vision passing since his linemates can compensate with complementary skills, but I hope he'll fix his puck control. Yeah. Oh yeah, I just don't be expecting a top 6 forward here with Bolduc, especially not Montreal because they just Jarosky. Like I would be surprised as Jarosky and Hage and Demidov, Slav, Caulfield aren't all better than Bolduc, right? Doc, even. So that and that's fine. He can play a bottom six role, score 25 goals, right? Play a physical style, and be a kind of a better version of Josh Anderson. Oh, be happy, Grant. A sip may help indeed. Oh, don't Daniel, enjoy a couple of beers. You know what, folks? You want to be on for? You want to stay on here for another half hour? Tell you what, I'm gonna go grab a pint. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Thank you, Daniel. I think I will have a beer. See, that's how it works. I've got like a vending machine, and until people donate some cash, a couple of toonies and that, then I put them in the machine, and out comes a beer. Thank you. Always appreciate the donations, folks. Leaf Nation's lost their mind. There's talk now of trading Nylander. Like even with their they're back in the playoff hunt here now, aren't they? You talking about a week ago, or Montreal only wants guys that embrace their culture? Well, yeah, it was a consideration. Grant is my super chat toxic. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure it's a good thing. Justin Barron is the same size as Reinbacher. No, he's not the same size. He's inch and a half shorter. Arguably pretty mobile. Not as mobile as Reinbacher. Great shot. Biggest difference, defensive awareness and hockey sense. Yeah. I think Reinbacher's more physical too. Bigger kid, more physical, more poise, better outlet passes. Barron's a decent skater too. Doesn't have the size skating combo. Just Reinbacher better in all regards, as far as I'm concerned. Bartman, you missed most of the pod. Sure. Yeah, listen to it in the morning, my friend. It was kind of a last minute spur of the moment thing. Ooh, I lost a bunch of people when I went away. Down to 71 here. But you know what? It's quality 71. Reinbacher is going to be a good two-way consistent defender. Keep supporting him. Hey, he's going to be top 2 right defenseman, 6'3", physical, shut down. They're so valuable. You don't win cups without them. That's why I'd like to see him in the playoffs. We've managed to keep Grant online for 2 hours or more the past couple of games. Yeah. Yeah. Bunch of coercers. Warren Young, he made 40 goals. The center was Mario. Yeah. Yeah. Warren Young, even better example, because at least Rob Brown was a big scorer in junior. But Warren Young, then he went with another team, and it was like, where's Mario? Mario's not passing me the puck. Glenn, not a Dow, but Molson works. Thanks, thanks, Glenn. I can't choose between Bonzo and Moon the Loon either. Yeah. I know, eh? Yeah. Townsend or Page, Daltrey or Plant, Bonzo or Keith. Yeah, you can make arguments for both. Although I'd go Plant, probably go Page, but Pete's the best songwriter of the whole bunch. And Bonham or Keith. Basically a tie. Even if Zach Bolduc does be no more than a replacement for Emil Heineman, I'll be fine with it too. Well, yep. I think they had to look at it that way too, right? They traded Logan Mailloux and 2 firsts for Dobson and Bolduc. We'll see how it works out, but it made sense. Oh, good to see Bedard back. Francois Bedard, keeping an eye on C. Bedard. That your cousin there, Francois? Half an hour, that's too... Yeah, well, young lad's getting home from work here, 9 o'clock or so. Supposed to be soon, so I kind of promised at 9:30. 9:30, I've got to shut her down tonight. Long story, but you guys starting to get me in trouble with these long podcasts. Curb damage, rim valve, stem, run flat. Curb damage, rim valve, stem, run flat. Okay. I don't know. I think his defensive awareness is the problem. Thoughts on rumor Jason Robertson possibly being shopped? I think it's a bogus rumor. No, read that today, Grant. No, read this, you mean? Curb damage, rim valve, stem, run flat? Team Brothers, Biceps, NHL, JJJ, Good Chicken Dinner, Escape. All right, JJJ Aubin, I appreciate your input. Not a Dow, but a Molson Works. Yes. JJJ Oban just took a vacation, folks. I remember seeing in one of the behind the scenes videos, St. Louis telling Reinbacher he's exactly the kind of player they needed. Oh, yeah? I know that St. Louis was really high on Mayu. And they were the main reason why Montreal kind of went against the what was expected there and took Mayu in the first round because they were positive that St. Louis was going to grab him. And they really wanted, they felt they needed, and they did. They needed a big right defenseman. Now they got it in Reinbacher. They got one later, but that's why Mayu became expendable. But obviously, St. Louis did because they traded for him a couple of years later. Pete was the brain. Oh God, songwriter, man, one of the best of all time. JJJ, I don't know, but JJJ took a vacation. No, everyone got 12 million left to spend. No, that's true. Interesting. Some of the asks these wingers have. The Tuck Rumor asked for 10 million. You know what? 10 or double digit figures, double are not crazy considering the way salaries are going to be going up. Like anybody that's close to a point per game now, that's not like 35 years of age, is going to be demanding 10 million plus on contracts from here on in. I'm not saying they all will get them, and it's a testament to Kent Hughes having all these guys locked up for the next 4 or 5 years at what will prove to be real bargain contracts. But yeah, could he be like Brett Pesce? Geez, I hope he's better than Brett Pesce. Brett Pesce's not bad, but I've got higher hopes than that. For months, I was trying to find out why I didn't see you on the Sick podcast. I'm so happy to see you're on. Got my own pod. Hey, Pat Gow. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone out there that still doesn't know that I got this, just type in my name in Google, Grant McCagg, and it should come up. But yeah, I don't know where, how or why you came across it, but you did. And I'm glad that you enjoyed my time on Sick and that you found me. And I hope you can stick around and become a HabsCast Nick, like some of these folks here, like JJJ Obin. It was brief, but he was for a little while. Sorry, I meant Marty St. Louis, not the team. Talking to Reinbacher. Oh, that mistake gets. Okay, so what did you say about him talking to him? Oh, okay. I remember seeing one of them telling Rob he's exactly the kind of player they needed. Well, he is. He's exactly what they need. I had good conversations with a couple of good conversations with Nick Bobrov before the Canadiens are like, you can't talk to anybody in our organization. Nick told me that they didn't need another 5'9" winger. Reinbacher is going to be the score's 2-1 late in the game. Who do you want on the ice? Do you want the 5'9" offensive winger that is not very good checker, or do you want the 6'4" shutdown defenseman or 6'3" shutdown defenseman, mobile? As you saw, like I showed every goal against this year, not one was him getting beat one-on-one, not once. Like it's rare that he gets beat one-on-one. And that's a guy with hardly any experience in North America. Wait till he's got 200 NHL games under his belt. He's exactly what you want in a friggin' tie game, a 2-1 game. 10 minutes left in the third period, he'll be out in the ice 4 minutes, right? No. The Canadiens lack that in the lineup right now. It's one of the reasons why they may not go that far in the playoffs this year, but future playoffs, Reinbacher, big part. Just like Slav will be a big part. They'll both be keys to the Canadiens ever coming close to winning a cup, I think. McKinnon was saying he'd like it if London, UK could get an NHL team. Oh, yeah? Yeah, we really need that travel in there. I don't know. Surprised McKinnon didn't say Dublin, being a Mick and everything like that. Yeah. Would they send him over on by ship? I don't know. Maybe if the Concorde was still around. Bullet train across the Atlantic. Back in the days of a popular brew was Black Horse. I remember Black Horse, yeah. Till a poison accident happened in the factory and the beer disappeared from the shelves. Thanks for the Habs content every day. You are a grinder. Well, it's because the people are supporting me financially here. Honestly, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing this every day, but it's incentive. It's keeping me going here, and I really thank you that I've got this support, not just financially, but even viewership. Every view, I get paid by YouTube, so the more people that are, that's why I always encourage people that are watching on X to come on over to the YouTube HabsCast, become a subscriber, like the video, and if you can, come on board here and contribute in the live chat, because I will read your messages, and unless they're toxic, we'll have good back and forth. I mentioned Slav and the impact that the Olympics will have upon him. Cappy and Susie, yeah. Maybe Texier come back and score 4 goals after leading France to a silver medal. Yeah, I think Cappy might have a very good tournament. They like him a lot. I mean, 20 years of age, he went Finland in the World Championships and led them in goals. He played against Lundell, who he's been compared to. Lundell, Mikkola last night, when Barkov, I'm sure who he's a fan of, watching in the stands, and put on a show with 3 points. I'm sure, I have a feeling that Cappy might have a very good Olympic too, and come back and just keep building off that. It's really nice to see him score goals, 3 straight games, 3-point night is first. He's had chances before for 3, and it was nice. Marty puts him out at the end of games all the time, protecting the lead. Again, freaking, it's uncommon for a for a rookie center. I was looking at some more stats. 12 players in the league have more 5-on-5 goals than Kapanen this year, and he's a rookie. Like none of the others are. One other player has 15 goals and blocked 45 shots. One other forward in the NHL. Only one other forward has scored as many as 15 goals and had 45 blocked shots this year. And that's Austin Matthews, the Hart Trophy winner from a couple of years ago. Again, and he's a rookie. No Montreal Canadiens center has ever scored 25 goals as a rookie. Cappy's now on pace for 48 or 28. No Montreal Canadiens rookie center has ever scored 50 points. Cappy's on pace for 49 right now and trending up, and they keep this line together. I don't see how he couldn't get 50 points. So I mean, I kept saying, in the preseason, hey, look for this kid, that, but even in my wildest dreams, I didn't anticipate that Cappy would be having this much success yet. I thought it might be a year away or whatever, but I thought, he was the best choice to center Demidov this year, but to lead the NHL in rookie goals, to be on pace to break Montreal Canadiens rookie scoring records as a center, I did not anticipate that. Kibaki, hailing from New Zealand, not a big hockey nation. Oh, wow. Appreciate the content. Yeah? So are you like a New Zealand native? The Kiwis and the... Wow. No, they're known for their All Blacks more than anything. Hey, thanks for thanks for chipping in. Comment there. Yeah, let us know. Like if you're new here and you haven't said where you're from, mention in here where you hail from, because I find it cool. There are people from all over the globe that do tune in. We've had people from Mexico, Latin America, Ireland, Australia, now New Zealand, Greece, London. It's pretty cool. I guess I would need to be part of a wider European division. Yeah. I don't think it makes sense. I mean, London, frig, they don't even have a good hockey league in England, really. Yep, got the 5-7 Cole Caulfield. Both Reinbacher and Hage will be huge black aces. Absolutely. I think they might be in the lineup, actually. Where does Bryce Pickford fit in the top 6? Well, it'd be a while before he's anything but third pairing guy, but third pairing power play, third pairing guy that gets power play time. And down the road, who knows? Maybe eventually top 4. He's got top 4 potential, but he'll be behind Dobson and Reinbacher for the next half a decade anyway. Having only one team in Europe would be a logistical nightmare. Yeah, absolutely. Reinbacher can be what Dumoulin was for Pittsburgh when they won back-to-back cups. Again, he's got a higher ceiling than Dumoulin. I drank a couple of Black Horse tonight. We still get it here in Newfoundland. Oh, yeah? From the 1970s, and it was poisoned. I hate to tell you, Bartman, but I guess they didn't stop. He's 5'8". Well, no, he's 5'7". The websites say 5'8", but he's 5'7". Dovish or Fowler, who's going back down with the Rocket? I would think it's going to be Dobish, but that doesn't mean it's permanent, right? Neither of these guys are waiver eligible, so they can always get moved. Glenn, are you leaving us there, buddy? Been a blast tonight. Should be a hell of a game tomorrow. Great litmus test. Yes. Join me for a post game here. I'm going to go a few more minutes, but I'm going to be wrapping it up in 5 here. 2-hour show today. Marty was saying lately that first and second line, he can trust to be on the ice anytime in the same context at this point. Well, yeah. And that's the way you want it, right? Kiwi native. We've got 2 ice rinks amongst our city of 2 million. Have to go online to geek out about hockey, unfortunately. Props to you for knowing the All Blacks. Right on, man. Are you a Habs fan? I hope so. Predictions on who gets the Stanley Cup winning goal this year? What is Dobson getting traded to Colorado or? Wow, the cup winning goal. Well, Dobson won 2 Memorial Cups back to back, so that wouldn't be a bad choice, right? Oh, I don't know. Slav with the Stanley Cup winning, but they're going to have more than one Stanley Cup winning goal, aren't they? Thanks to hey Daniel, that was very generous of you sending me $14. Eric, thank you for the toonie. Same to Mark. Mark, you're a faithful contributor. Francois, appreciate the donation as always. Again, you're a regular. Mark sent $7 altogether, which is fantastic. Thank you. Danielle almost sent $2. 2 minus a penny. Thank you, my friend. That's always appreciated. Hey, it's great to get some support. And tomorrow night, I'll see if I can't get get somebody on with me post game. Maybe Liam, maybe Blaine. We'll have a fun chat. Oh yeah, I'm going to be posting. I just got an article from Bob Trask, another great one. I'll be posting on my Patreon page for all of you who are subscribers. If you have a membership here, if you paid for a membership on the HabsCast channel, and you'd like to give you a free gift membership to my Patreon page, send me an email at this. Oh yeah, I just remembered I have to read. Chris Peddle wants to come on a podcast. We'll see if we can't get Chris on for a bit, maybe tomorrow night. Conn Smythe's laugh would be nice. Oh man. Yes, Daniel Lorette. Thank you. Did I say something wrong? Or I think I usually say Danielle, isn't it? Don't I? Yeah. Not Danielle. Okay, kind of the 2 L's together. Daniel, my brother. To quote Larry, David, I will curb my enthusiasm before thinking Habs back in the Stanley Cup final and winning it. Fair enough. So somewhere between Liam, no hope in hell, and not winning the Stanley Cup. Probably good even kill. Nas, go Habs, go. After the Habs win their 5th cup in a row within the next 10 years, remember I called it. All right, fair enough. Be amazing to watch Laugh get that. I can only imagine how big a smile he'll. Yeah. Yeah, it would be a big one for sure. Oh, Daniel, 99 cents. Thank you. Makes it a total of $2.98. That's very very generous of you, Daniel. I appreciate the support as always. You're pretty steady with that. Thank you. Drum dude. Thanks, Grant. Rock and roll, my friend. Yeah. Hey, we even got in a little chat about Bonzo and Keith, Looney Tunes Keith. You're not going to be around tomorrow night? Thank you, Grant. Don't get into hot water on our account. We'll catch you next time. Yeah. I haven't heard the pitter patter of him home yet, so, but as soon as he is, yes. What's going on in Ottawa? I don't know, but to see what Elliot Friedman said about it there, I guess there's fire, not just smoke. Money Puck now sees Montreal 80% playoff bound. Oh, right on. Well, we'll see. I remember a lot of sites were saying 80% Kamala Harris winning the election too, and stuff like that. That didn't happen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Ottawa. It's pretty crazy, eh? Well, folks, Detroit tomorrow night. Big one. Battle for, well, top 3 anyway. Tampa, hopefully Tampa loses, and then it's a battle for first. And the Canadiens being at home, I don't know if the goalie's a rat. It's just all rumors. Yeah, they traded. Well, I don't think did they have to trade for him, or it's just a personal tryout thing. He already had one. He already had a tryout earlier in the year, but it's time to, it's time to put Detroit. Didn't Montreal swamp Detroit earlier in the year? It's time to do it again. Put them in their place. Say, oh, wait a sec. You're not in our league. They're boys. Settle down. We're the best team here. I thought, yeah, early in the year when they dominated them, I said, oh, well, Detroit's, the weak sisters. They're not going to, and to their credit, they stayed in the race, but Montreal's got the more talented team, the deeper team, I believe. And I think if they play their game, the wave gets going there. The wave is back, eh? The Habs fans get rolling. Canada, the Canadiens will roll to victory tomorrow night, and get a little cushion here between them and the other teams as far as getting, it'd be nice to have at least a 10-point cushion there, right? Hopefully that's coming soon. Which player wife said she can find his tortillas brand in Montreal, which caused a polemics back in the days? I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't been reading too much of the. I'm not a big soap opera rumor kind of guy. Reimer got brought in on a personal tryout thing. I don't think they had to trade for him. He tried out for a team earlier and he didn't make it, and now he's trying out for them. But he'll play because they have no friggin' choice. Oh, I don't think Detroit played better that night, Francois. Goalie wasn't great, but come on. All over him. Did you ever play hockey back in the day? Oh boy, did I play hockey. I guess you've missed some of my third hour hockey stories that I you got to tune in for all 3 hours to get those. Yeah. Well, I played multiple positions. I played, it's 3-2, minute 24 left. I was hoping to catch the end of it, but you guys always keep me longer. Minute 24 left. Laval's holding on. Let me know what happens there, guys. I'll stay to the end of the Rocket game. How's that? Yeah, right wing. Played some center too, and defense. Whenever team needed was light on defense, I'd step back and play on the blue line. Played some center, but predominantly right wing was my position. Played a rugged style. I was a hitter, not a fighter. We didn't really fight a lot, minor hockey, but loved to hit, stocky, low center of gravity at 5'9", but stocky, knock people down. A good playmaker, good penalty killer. I was a half decent player. had a couple of games called up junior, but yeah, I kind of was a late bloomer when it came to my hockey career, and but really good midget year. Really, the next year, very good, and played some good competitive hockey. Played in a lot of leagues in my 20s. Played a lot of senior hockey right up till mid to late 30s when my knee gave out and I couldn't play anymore. But oh yeah, played a ton of hockey. Refereed. Did some officiating. Did a bit of coaching. Organized hockey leagues. Got into scouting, and covered hockey from the age of 19 on in journalism. So I've had my, I've been involved in hockey right from day one in various capacities, and it's always been a huge part of my life. Thanks for asking, Andy. Explain the reason why I don't see you anymore on the Sick podcast. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I have my own podcast. It's called HabsCast. See the typically competing podcasts don't have each other on their podcasts. I guess that would explain it as well as anything, Pat. Okay. Well, I don't care too much about the rumors about the. It's all rumor, innuendo. Wasn't a trade, but an AHL PT. Oh, yeah. Would would you make a move that involves trading Cappy in a package deal that will bring Robert Thomas to Montreal? Oh, frig, I'd trade Cappy in a heartbeat. I don't like that guy. That's a good. Thanks for asking that, because you know over Kapanen, overrated. These people saying freaking second line center and all that baloney. Yeah, and people, please bring in as many, uh, list as many Oliver Kapanen trade scenarios on here as you can, please, because that I enjoy that because I'm tired of the guy. He's obviously overrated. Anyone that in the preseason said, this guy might be okay, don't know what they're talking about. So, yes, absolutely, Montreal Habs. Thank you for coming on here and you know, um, well, you're reading my mind. That you definitely that Kapanen guy got to be traded for sure. Thank you for the question, Montreal Habs. Thomas plays like Suzuki. If trade anyone, need a big guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we got people thinking that I'm being serious here. Plays like Suzuki. Yeah. Hmm. Well, if there was no salary cap, Montreal Habs, sure, trade for Robert Thomas, but so you're trading a $1 million salary for 8 or whatever, um, to a team that has no cap space. Why would St. Louis want to trade Robert Thomas? It would cost you Kapanen. It would cost you first round picks. It would probably cost you, I don't know if it'd be Reinbacher, but it would be a hell of a friggin' another piece, um, just to even get St. Louis to think about it. But I mean, Robert Thomas is going to be a good player for the next 5 to 7 years, and St. Louis intends on not being rebuilding for the next 5 to 7 years. So why would they make the trade in the first place, right? So it's kind of it's I don't like to talk about potential trades that would never happen. And and if you know me at all, you know that I'm probably averse to Oliver Kapanen being traded. Was a challenge setting up your own podcast, either technically or in terms of organization? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh man, this guy must be new on here, eh? I agree with you, Grant. Okay, you didn't catch my. You definitely got to be new on here. Cappy trade for McD. Yeah. Well, you would trade Kapanen for in a heartbeat. But yeah, because St. Louis wouldn't make the trade. Why would St. Louis trade Thomas for Kapanen? Like, we might as well say, oh well, would you I don't know, frig. Would you trade Kapanen for Horvat, or would Well, yeah, but why would the Islanders do that? Joshua, NHL or AHL? AHL? His window was there. He had his chances. Maybe NHL with another team, but I don't think he plays. Like, who's he going to play ahead of? It's not a bottom six guy. Anyway, okay, guys, I gotta go. Cappy's not going anywhere. You're right, Daniel. Robert Thomas isn't going anywhere, so I'm not gonna discuss this further. I appreciate the donations as always, folks. I hope to see you tomorrow night after the Detroit game, and we'll have ourselves a hootenanny, and keep being Cappy. Everybody Cappy. So he's a happy Cappy. Thank you, Grant, for another great show. Thank you. Okay, Wolfie. Same to you. Whatever that. I can't see that very clearly. It looks like blue Abe Simpson or something. Good night, Francois. Jonathan Richard. Hey, we'll be here after the Habs win tomorrow. Good. Glad to hear it, Jonathan. We had 100. We kept it basically at 100 right up until the end here. That's great. The young lad's home here now, so I must get going. Cap management is a premium in the NHL. Absolutely. The Habs have no. It doesn't make sense in a lot of, regards. But good night to you, Wolfie. Stay safe. Everybody, stay safe. Have a great night. Gonna see you tomorrow night, okay? And we'll have a lot of fun talking about what hopefully is another Habs victory. Go Habs, go. Have a great night.